Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into the Nintendo Drive. If you're hanging out with us on YouTube, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Or, if you're getting cozy and listening to us on your podcast feed, make sure you're following and leaving us nice reviews. You can also support the show on Patreon and pick up some awesome merch. Links to those and more are in the description, but let's get the show started.
Hey, what's up, gamers?
What's up,
hey, everybody.
Gamers?
What's up, gamers? Lachlan and Amanda are out. The boys are in.
Boys' room.
It's the boys' room, baby.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town.
Act like I was Locke, but it's okay.
Oh, you were? That
Yeah,
was the
I
plan?
like
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
That's fair.
I
well,
mean, Lachlan's totally here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm right here.
She's
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
here. Yeah,
We look
everything's
exactly
fine.
the same.
Put a few squishmallows there in your background, and you'll be all right. You'll
The
be pretty
Squishmallows turned
close.
into Funko Pops. Look at that collection.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, and the
Hold on.
beetle turned into Luigi back there somehow. What happened?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, well, the voices that you guys hear, two special guests on the show this week. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We got TB and JB, Tony Baker, and Johnathan Brown. Hey guys,
Yo.
welcome to the show.
Hola.
Happy to be here.
Same.
Happy to have you.
We had to up the Canadian count a little bit here.
You know? Yeah. Got
It
it.
was
It's evened out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was getting a little low,
Yeah. 25% Canadian.
dangerously low.
Not nearly enough maple syrup.
That's what happened to Bryan Adams. He didn't win a Juno Award. He didn't have enough Canadian in his band. And the Canadian
Is that
government's
right?
like, no. It's something like that. Yeah, I think.
Don't fact check
something
me,
like
but
it's something.
If I say it
don't know if
confidently enough.
25%, but no, it's like he was supposed to. You know, he's a Canadian idol. You know.
yeah.
Love that Bryan Adams, but yeah, he was excluded from Canadian Music Awards, the Junos, because I guess his band wasn't Canadian enough.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
And
crazy.
you don't want
That's
that to happen to the
unfortunate.
Nintendo
little
Drive.
questionable Canadian trivia to start out the show. I'll bring that
Yeah,
up.
that's
now.
where you're
On
in history.
shaky ground.
Could be true. Something
Could
my
be
dad
true.
told me, I think.
Well, that's
I
okay.
think.
I'll accept it.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, real quick, before we get into things, we're really excited to have both of you here on the show tonight. Thank you guys both for coming on in. Lachlan and Amanda are just fine. Everything's fine. There are no danger as far as I know. With Amanda, you don't know. Amanda
not
might
yet.
be in danger.
Yeah,
Yeah, who knows?
yeah I think she's running
but everything's
straight
all
towards
good.
danger.
She does. She sprints towards it. She jumps off cliffs and like whatever she's doing. But they're fine. We just, it was a good opportunity to have some new voices here on the show and hang out with some dear friends. Yay be, as Bowser says here in the chat. But before we get into things, folks, can we do a little housekeeping?
Smoochy smooch.
A little smoochy housekeeping?
Oh, all the kisses, all the kiss noises.
Yeah, crispy kisses there.
Housekeeping is
Yes.
turning into something weird, and I love it. Like,
That's exactly
I
what
love-
you should have expected.
Mitch on the Xbox Drive has his soundboard and he has the little like housekeeping like noise that he plays. So I like it when
the
housekeeping
rest of
can
us
have
do
a
our
little.
best.
Yeah, we can only try to emulate. Thank you so much to Liger Woods 330 for coming on in. Actually, first at the ad-free all-in-one tier, then upgraded to the gold member tier, which is incredible. Thank you so much for doing that. Liger Woods 330, very, very nice, kind person who I met recently as well. And thank you so much for your support over here on patreon.com/carpoolgaming. We really appreciate you. Folks, your support on Patreon helps us so much. We got Extra Life coming up, and that support goes straight to our Extra Life efforts. And please look forward to that. Thank you, Liger Woods 330. Appreciate
Wonderful
you.
reference, Liger Woods. Like a tiger and a lion, like the
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, yeah, I'm picking that up. And smashing it together with our Austin Powers reference. Man, we are old, you guys. We like these old early
We're really-
2000 comedies. Definitely.
Yeah, so thank you so
Liger
much, Liger Woods. We appreciate you. Of course, those Ultimate and Platinum Producer Awards available now. And also want to thank folks for leaving 5-star reviews for the Nintendo Drive on your podcatcher of choice. Please do that if you haven't already. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that fun stuff. We appreciate y'all for doing that. Really helps the show out. Free way to support what we do here at Carpool Gaming. Thank y'all very much.
As I madly check online if there has been any... And...
Yeah.
No. Should I read
Nothing
a
on
random
Canadian
one?
iTunes? Go for it, please.
I could read this random one from October 2023 from the one and only Shy Guy. Of course.
Thank you, Shy Guy.
Yes. Shy Guy says, let's go. A brilliant podcast. It's Why did I pick this one? That's a hard word, Shy Guy. It's
Stumbling already.
extemporaneous. From the heart and filled with tons of joy and laughs. It's Nintendo-centered, but I love the organic conversations that can tend to go anywhere. Is that what
that is true.
Extemporaneous means? Extemporaneous. Word
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah, good day. Good $10
Good word.
$10
Yeah,
word.
look, is that a good thing?
Word of the
I don't
day.
know.
$10 word
Are
is
you
what-
insulting me and I don't understand it?
No. It's a good word. Yeah,
Good
leave
word.
those reviews, y'all.
Good
we appreciate
word.
you. Neat hat.
Neat hat.
Hat. Yeah. Thank you, Shy Guy. From
Thank you,
2023.
Shy Guy. Appreciate that. Y'all too can have your reviews stumbled upon here on the show.
Sometime
If you-
in the future.
Yeah. If you leave your 5-star reviews, you can be chiseled into the eternal rock that is the Nintendo Drive.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Y'all want to talk about video games?
Hooray.
You want to talk about some
games.
video games?
Sure.
Cool. Well, let's just go clockwise, whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Tony, what have you been playing, my friend?
Well, I've been kind of dual fisting a couple games right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Whoa.
so watch out. I've been playing the new Dempa Men, which is
Oh.
it's an interesting game, you know. Like I've been getting my morning grind on with the Dempa Men. So I've been kind of playing these games in tandem. I was playing Rolling Hills, Sushi, whatever. Make sushi, make friends. It's kind of like a life sim, kind of doing your thing, and you're kind of got a sushi restaurant to manage, and it's like a Animal Crossing light kind of game. Like it's very very chill, very easy. There's nothing really going on too much like that's too intense. And then I've been playing the new Dempa Men, which is a free to play game that came out on Switch a couple weeks ago, and it's got just a nice comfortable grind that's really weird. And yeah, like you can see it on the screen here if you're watching the video. Like it's just so bizarre, but it's so low maintenance, you know. It was kind of what I needed right now, just something that I could play and not have to think too hard. So it was kind of nice to have something like that to play at night, and then something like that to play in the evening. And I've just been kind of going back and forth with those two games, as well as I've been checking out that demo for Bakeru.
Bakeru.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was I'm pretty happy that's getting an English localization. It came out in
Yes.
Japanese a while ago. I had the Japanese demo for a while, but I never played it because I was like, well, you know, I don't really know what's going on, and I didn't want to bother my wife every time and be like, what does this say? What does this say? What does this say? Because she's Japanese. And so, but yeah, now it's out in translated in English for the demo, coming out soon, and it's so much fun. So much fun. Seth, have you had a chance to play this one at all? Or?
Yes, I love it. And I actually played the demo in Japanese, understanding not a word of it. Like I was just like, I just want to play this because this is the well, not technically the latest, I guess, because they also made Peach Showtime, but this is the latest game from Good Feel.
Good Feel,
the people who made like Yoshi's Woolly World and Crafted World, Kirby's Epic Yarn and stuff. And this in particular is a sort of spiritual successor to Ganbare Goemon. And yeah, it's really good, man. It's a really cool, like unique kind of action 3D platformer. With a ton. I actually didn't expect this to get localized because it has so much Japanese culture just all over it.
Tons.
Like this is a Japanese game. Like, and I'm really going to be curious how people latch onto it, but I love it. I'm really happy that this is getting localized. Comes out the day before my birthday. I can't wait. Love it.
Mark your calendars.
Yeah, it's so far what I played from the demo, it's really good. Like Seth said, it is just like super Japanese. It's like folktale inspired, and like Bakeru is a tanuki basically, and that's what it means. It's like the transforming tanuki, how they can transform into human form, and also be those mysterious tanukis. But it feels like it's very similar to like a Japanese, like popular Japanese cartoon show out there, which I think is Anpanman, which is very similar. I find like there's a lot of same themes. Like almost felt like I was watching a kid's cartoon playing it.
Yeah.
because it got that same vibe. So I really like what I saw so far. I'm excited for its release. I think was it September
Yes. The 3rd.
3rd.
Yes. Can't wait, man. I'm glad you played it. Everybody should at least check out the demo. Like if you like action platformers, the demo's out there. It's free, and I think the game's going to be like $40, at least US, when it comes out. So it's not even like a full priced thing. So yeah, I'm all over this. I hope it gets a physical release. I don't think that's been confirmed yet. But man, I love it. Excited. Very cool. Okay. Well, JB, what's been going on, dude?
Hi. Well, I just finished up Paper Mario not too long ago.
Thousand Year Door?
Yeah, Thousand Year Door.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, them first 3 chapters, I had to push through them. Not gonna.
They're rough, dude.
They're rough. I just stopped, and I remember you saying like after those it gets better. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I did the first 3 chapters, and I just stopped playing for the longest. Like I think it was like a couple weeks, and then I was like, okay, let me pick it back up. I picked it up, loved every moment after that. The game is so much fun. I didn't think I was gonna like it that much, but it's amazing. But I finished that up, and I started Luigi's Mansion 2 HD.
2?
I'm halfway through it. Fun fact: this is not my favorite Luigi's Mansion. So
Me either.
It shouldn't be your favorite.
It's not.
It's a good one, but it shouldn't be your favorite.
Yeah, so I'm playing it though. I'm playing it. But I have been playing Fortnite too a lot. So yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I just bought a Trunks skin because Trunks is my favorite.
My
Dragon Ball
boy.
Z character.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's kind of it. That's all. You know, good old
I love
Luigi's
that.
Mansion, little Fortnite here and there. I want to
Oh,
jump back into Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts. So
Kingdom Hearts?
I want to
Is there
jump back into. No, I just want to jump back into it. I'm
JB
getting
loves
the itch.
Kingdom
okay.
Hearts, and he's just
I'm getting
bringing it up
the
to get
itch.
me. You're just doing this to get a reaction out of me.
Well,
Yeah,
we can
you know?
talk Kingdom Hearts. We
Amen.
can do
Oh,
that
what
right
fun.
now.
I will be
Yeah.
confused and not knowing what's going on if we
Oh,
talk
the
Kingdom
gummy
Hearts.
ship! What a great thing. Love flying that gummy ship around.
Love
Feels
it,
great.
right? Feels so great. Ooh, we love a good gummy ship. But yeah. So
I love that, dude. So this is your first time playing Thousand Year Door?
yeah, this is
You
my
were
first
saying?
time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
I think a lot of people arrived to it for the first time with the remake, which is good. So you were saying that like post chapter 3, it was kind of all good for you from there. You were like
once I
all
got
in?
past
Okay.
chapter 3, I was in. I
Yeah.
was so like enthralled, I guess is the word you would use with
Yeah.
the story of it.
Extemporaneous.
Yes, extemporaneous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everything, it hooked me after like the 3rd chapter. So once I got past that, I was just rolling. And every day I came home, wanted to play more and more. So
That's
yeah,
good to hear because I want to
want
play that one again. But it was so wordy at the beginning that I was getting like a
Yes.
little bit like
Too much reading.
I was getting a little worn out from it. But I could see there was good stuff to come. But I just haven't gone back to it, and I've been meaning to do that because I got to like chapter 2, and I'm like, I'm a little tired. You know, I gotta move on with my life.
Yeah.
Put me to sleep, dude.
Yeah.
once you get past that 3rd chapter, it's like, okay, it starts to pick up and you're like really start to get into it. Now, I didn't 100% this game like I normally 100% my games because I'm not
You
doing
100% games like on
I-
the reg?
Mhm.
Jeez.
all
These
of the
people
Kingdom
out here.
Hearts games. I've 100% every single one of them.
Wow.
Same.
Every single one of them.
Same, both of you.
That's good. Yep. Platinum Kingdom Hearts 3.
I can't even get
Yep.
through the
I
tutorial.
platinum Kingdom Hearts
screens.
3, but I didn't do the DLC yet. I'm gonna run through that. At some
Oh
point,
yeah.
So
No, you don't have to.
Oh, but I want to.
It's fine. No, it's yeah, I'm typically the same way, JB. I like to get the most out of games as well, but like Thousand Year Door, I feel like I'm always beaten up on that game here on the show. I do like it, but like it's one of my least favorite Paper Mario games, and the glazing on it is insane. So it's always
Yeah.
nice when somebody comes in here and says, "You know what, Seth, you were right."
Yeah,
Always
no,
makes me
I
feel
played.
good.
I played the first Paper Mario, and I'm like, oh, this is way better. What are we talking about?
I agree.
The first one's
There
way
it is.
better.
Totally
So-
agree. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool.
Well, this is kind of nice. Like we bring people on the show and we actually agree with one another. Like I know we're supposed to like have different opinions, but this feels nice. This is
I love it.
okay. Yeah. Wow. Of course, we miss Lachlan and Amanda just
Equally
as
as
much
much.
as we enjoy having you guys on.
Announcement at the end of the
course.
show. Me and Tony
Yeah.
are replacing them. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
we're-
6 people podcast.
Oh,
We're
6
adding.
people. Okay.
Nobody,
Just keep
growing.
growing.
nobody gets left
Yeah.
behind. Yeah, none
Just
of that.
Change from a
6
car to
people.
a van, and
Yeah,
then
we're-
Goes from a van to a
load
bus,
'em all
then a
in the
bus to
van.
a train.
Oh,
The battle
yes,
bus.
please.
It's a battle bus.
The Fortnite
Battle
bus.
bus is
Yeah,
wild.
man.
Where are we dropping? Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Canada.
Well, Sean, talk to me. What have you been playing,
Oh my
dude?
gosh, I kind of wanted to jump in on a couple of things JB was talking about, but
Well, do it.
Seth, well, I don't know where to start. So I wanted, I can't see. I think was talking about Doom in the chat.
Yeah.
And last week, look, first of all, I'm all over the place, you guys. I got no notes. I'm all flustered. I love having these guys on, and it's a great time. I'm all hopped up on Diet Coke from McDonald's, of course.
He had a quarter pounder before the show.
Oh, man, so I'm just digesting.
He's
So,
on cloud 9 right now.
Just prepping for my marathon, as you do. Just
Yeah, carbo load
Quarter
before the
pounders.
marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a mess, you guys. But over at twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live, a plethora or an extemporaneous amount of tournament brackets have been happening. And for those who are unaware, the tournament bracket, by the way, is like the best thing that we do.
I
Actually,
agree.
equally as good as all of the podcasts, just the same. The tournament bracket is a methodology that I have created to choose your next game. You put a selection of games in a March Madness style bracket. The games go head to head, and you let the audience on Twitch vote which of those two games will move on to the next round, and then you crown a winner like a battle royale. Those things are so hot right now. Everybody's been doing it. Ryan's done a couple. Fulia did one the other night, and that's why I bring it up, because after the tournament brackets, Fulia did hers, and then Ryan went on to do his, right, Seth? And then you and
Yes.
I were hanging out with them, and I'm like, but what if I just fired up Doom while Ryan does this tournament bracket thing? Like, it was. I hope he didn't take it as disrespectful, because it definitely could have been
Sure.
taken in that way. I didn't mean it to be that way. It's just kind of fun to do a tournament bracket on Twitch and also stream a little Doom, because they did that Doom 1+2 remake remaster that is free. If you
It's
already
great.
own Doom, it's excellent. There's thousands of levels and all these add-ons and mods that became like
New
official
soundtrack.
add-ons. Soundtrack is so
Yeah.
good. And multiplayer. It has the campaign. You can now play co-op, but not one, not two, not three. You can play with 16 people. You can play
Through the campaign?
the
Yeah.
campaign
Oh, wow.
for all the Dooms, or 1 and 2 anyways, but all the little like expansion packs and everything.
Even
Dude,
though it's
they're
not designed for that.
It's absolutely not designed for it. As
That's
we
so rad.
It is excellent. And it works pretty good too. And I will say,
Yeah.
when I say my friend's code at the end of this episode, you can now invite me to your Doom game, even if
That's true.
you're not, even if we're not playing at the same time. Like, we sent an invite over to Tim Alf, and he got to just like jump on in. It was incredible. It's like how friends lists are supposed to work. It was awesome. So
How
yeah,
novel.
we played. Was it Doom 2? I think we were playing Doom 2.
Yep.
And the game is absolutely not designed for co-op, but that's kind of what I love about this is, just throw a whole bunch of people in there and fire all the weapons and do all the things. We're having a blast with this game from whatever it was, 1991. And Ryan, because he knows games so well, he understood there's one part that you have to kind of like travel across some pylons, some platforms that appear.
Yeah.
And if you fall off when you're playing single player, you'll die and you'll kind of like give it another shot. But when you're playing co-op, like where there's multiple people, the guy trying it will die, but then the platforms disappear and the level is supposed to reset. But because you
Right.
have 3 or 4 other people who are still around, it doesn't reset. So you kind of had to kind of jig around with it a little bit, but it didn't remove the fun. And this is a goal. Maybe it's an extra life goal. I'm not sure. That's coming up in a couple months here, but we got to get a full lobby, 16 people.
Oh, yeah.
16
Yeah.
Doom guys running around with our BFGs and our rocket launchers and all the nonsense, man. Like, Doom multiplayer was a riot. That was so much fun. It was just
Yeah.
very experimental.
Stumbling around. Couldn't figure out what we were
Totally.
supposed to do, where we were supposed to go
Yes.
for like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah.
and you just like, yeah. What a game.
In the middle of a tournament bracket, just like, Sean, I have no idea where we're supposed to go
I
to.
know. Brian's like, next round, hack.//infector or whatever the hell that game is. I don't even understand it. .hack? Is that the game
Yeah.
that he's...
Dot hack infector.
What even
Sure.
won? What? I don't even know which... I don't even know. What
I
game
don't
it was.
remember.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
First of all,
Turns out
Ryan
it wasn't
beat those
great.
games so fast already. Like, he had the Luigi's 2 on the last one, and then it was like a day later, he's like, okay, done. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, Ryan
he's on
just
another-
burns through games. That's awesome. I was super jealous. I was like, I wish I could do that.
Well, Luigi's Mansion 2 is also a really short game.
It
I
is.
started it
Pretty short.
yesterday.
It still took
I'm
me
already
way too
halfway
long.
through it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
like 10
short? Like, what
hours.
does that mean? 10 hours? Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe
like
even
10
less.
hours.
Yeah,
If you're going through and you know what you're doing, you could easily beat it in like 5-6 hours. At least I think.
That's not me. You know me.
But I
JB.
do like that it's like
I know.
bite-sized levels. That kind of
Right.
worked out in my favor. Usually, I don't really like that too much, but it's back to that 3DS,
Yes.
the way of doing things where it's like you could jump
Yeah.
in, play like 20 minutes, burn through a level, and then kind of jump out, and then you don't have to keep going, which is kind of nice. It gives you a nice out. Because, you know, as like a parent and somebody with like a bunch of responsibilities, you're like,
Yep.
I need a quick out sometimes. And it really sucks when you have to put a game down that you're like really into. So having these nice little chapter pieces
Yes.
does help.
Yeah, you want to feel progress from
Yeah.
you know when you sit down to play a game and when you leave. I don't think there's any relation to that, but I out of nowhere, Ellie. By the way, there's context that's important here. I'm off work this week and it's been great. I spent a lot of time with the kiddos, and going for bike rides and stuff. And out of nowhere, we're driving home just a couple hours ago before the show, and Ellie goes, "Do you want to play Super Mario Odyssey?" I'm like, "Yes, I do. That sounds
Hell
like
yeah.
where did this come from? Like we haven't talked about Odyssey in forever." And so we were just playing. She was Cappy, and I'm running around like Mario, and like she, you know, they're different every day and every year. And so she'll be 6 in November, and like playing games with her is like a different. JB's shaking his head like, "Tell me about it, dude." Like she's a big old girl, man. And the reason I bring it up though is because like she understands what's going on in this video game. Like it wasn't like before where you're just like hitting buttons and you're happy that the
Yeah.
character does something. She's like, go get that thing and go over there. We're gonna go get Bowser. We're gonna like go be a bullet bill and gotta swing over here. Like the conversation we just had about Mario is awesome. That was so much fun. And it was, I don't know, like we did the first level and into the sand, the desert place that's all cold and everything. We played
Tostarena.
for, yeah, maybe a half an hour, you know? But
Wow.
that's gonna be on deck, I think, for the next little while. Like we're gonna play
Let's
tomorrow.
go.
I said we gotta go eat dinner. To Tony's
Isn't that
point about like
lovely?
responsibilities. I'm like we gotta stop now, but we can play tomorrow. And she's like, just before I came down here, she's like, I can't wait for tomorrow for Mario Odyssey. I'm like, dude, that rules.
Aw.
That's the best feeling as a kid, you know, like when
Looking
you're
forward to
excited
it.
about a game. And usually it's like when you're in school and you can't wait to be done school. You think about the game all day. You're waiting for that bell to ring just so that you can get home, maybe do a chore or two, and then like get to the game that you're stoked about. Dude, I remember like it was yesterday.
That was
and
me
for
in Mario
JB,
World.
it was yesterday.
It was.
And Lachlan too.
They're both the same age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Exactly.
children out here.
Yeah, they're both 18 or whatever we decided Lockleth was.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So Mario Odyssey's back on deck, you guys.
I
It's
love
good.
it.
Yeah, dude, it was very fun. Very
Finally beat
very
it.
nice. I haven't
Yeah.
beaten it. Yeah, I don't know if
I know.
we'll see if we can.
He never
we can
will.
get around to this. Chelsea just beat Pikmin 4, so I think the kids are kind of like getting used to this whole rolling credits on
Like
stuff.
finishing a game. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been neat. And the other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys, I played a couple hours of the one and only Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh, the hot
Everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite
Hot
of
off
all
the
the Final
presses,
Fantasies,
guys.
the latest Final Fantasy. Everybody's been dying to hear about.
Yes.
Everyone on the internet is talking about Final Fantasy VIII. But I don't have a whole lot to share. I'm just a couple hours into this thing, just trying to wrap my mind around. Actually, first of all, before I go any further, has anyone played it? Has anybody here
new.
played
I
Final
played
Fantasy?
it when it was
I
new.
have
I
not
played
played
it.
Final
I played it when it was
Fantasy.
new. Yeah.
Back in 1999.
Yeah. Played it
I
as a
think is-
kid. Yeah.
I think that's
I
what
wasn't
it's-
around then, so.
Oh, no.
Don't say that.
That
Don't
sucks.
say- I've got
Womp womp.
Oh, dude. You
Sorry.
know what, though? My very quick synopsis here is I don't hate it.
Okay.
You know? I think this
Okay.
game's going to take me months, though. Like, I would really like to be able to tell you guys and promise everyone that by the end of the month, I'm going to be done Final Fantasy VIII. Dude, I'm reading and rereading to the point about Kingdom Hearts earlier. Like, these tutorials are so in depth and they're so constant. So I played for like maybe 3 or 4 hours, but I'm just, it's all reading. It's maximum amount of reading, Fulia. The Folio reading factor is a 10 out of 10. And the vocabulary here, you guys, this is so interesting. I'm not sure if this is like a localization thing or what.
Probably.
But you have like these guardian forces, these larger than, like, what were they in Final Fantasy VII? Like the summons, like Ifrit, and so there are these things that you can empower your character with them, and it's called junctioning. Is how you pair them up with you. It's junctioning, JB. Like, I'm sitting here just trying to understand the lingo with Final Fantasy VIII. But all that aside, the music is the thing that's going to keep me playing this thing, I think. Like, I could just, like, sit there, have nothing happen, and the music it's gorgeous. It's absolutely incredible. Of course, the game starts out with one of the greatest intros in video game history, so you owe it to yourself, JB, if you haven't seen it. It's an awesome intro.
It is an awesome intro.
It's both nonsensical and action-packed and great. And I honestly don't know exactly what's going on in the conflict of this world, but Sid has shown up, and Wedge and Biggs showed up. I fought them, I guess.
Oh, classic.
So they're not friendly, I guess, or at least not now. I have a feeling something's going to happen. We're going to be, the tables will turn tables.
Turntables turn.
The turntables, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at a battle with this spider robot. Seth, you probably remember this. Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I read on the internet that you probably cannot beat this thing. And I
probably
spent
not
many hours trying to beat this thing. Maybe I've done something wrong with the junctioning or whatever the hell else.
Scripted defeat.
Scripted defeat indeed. So that's where I'll leave it for now. The next chapter, next week, I'll update you guys on having moved on. I think I've learned that thing's going to attack me again later, and I'll maybe beat it then. So, but I don't hate it right now. Not
Good.
terrible. Yeah. Looks nice, remastered. I bought it before, so I might as well play it.
Playing on
Shout
Switch?
out to Awesome Dave. Playing on Switch? Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Before Final Fantasy VII. I won't play Final Fantasy. I'll play this one first, and then I'll do 7. Yeah, as you do.
Missing out on the story. The connected plot between Final Fantasy games.
Because they all connect.
Yeah, exactly.
They all
I
connect.
just told you. Sid was there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, there's always a Sid. There's always a Biggs and Wedge.
Yep, they were there. So yeah, I think and oddly enough, so a little Fortnite here and there. So
really, everybody's playing Fortnite, eh?
get on that fork knife. Yeah, I'm awful at it. Like when I watch it, it's a game that everybody plays and has been playing forever. So when you watch somebody play it, they make it look easy, and I make it look clunky, dude. I'm slow. I'm like, what is that weapon? Let me just get out my reading glasses and just make sure I know what's going on here. Pretty slow, though.
Yeah.
But good times. I've had a lot of fun playing video games this week, man. It's been good.
I played around a Fortnite today.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was dinging them. Ooh, I felt like I was dinging them. Ooh, I was sitting there aiming. Oh my goodness, I felt like the man. But besides the point.
They were all bots. You're just like, everybody was a bot.
I played in a ranked game. I heard if you do a ranked game, they're not bots. So I got second in the last game I played, and I was like, all right, we good.
God Gamer. Yeah. MLG.
Oh,
I love that.
I want to address right quick before we go to you, Seth. Adam David has a slew of Final Fantasy questions in the chat. I want to encourage people. I don't want to go back to that because I want to get to what Seth's playing. But load up the questions because I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy VIII for probably the next 3 months.
6 months.
This is going to take me a while. Load up the questions with what you guys want to know. It seems like some people have played this. As it comes up, Awesome Dave always talks about it in his questions and whatnot. And there's always there's an energy towards it. It's a negative energy towards it. But what I think we're going to discover here, some people like it. I think some people don't hate Final Fantasy.
I think most people like it. I think it's just, Awesome Dave is so, I'll use the word uncompromising in his evangelism of Final Fantasy VIII. I think
He's
people are sort of memeing on him. Yeah, a little bit.
Fair.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are dozens,
there are dozens
that
of
like
us. Yeah, you're right.
I love it. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're playing it. I look forward to hearing
too.
more.
Yeah, full review.
I will say
review video coming to the channel.
Oh yeah, formal 30-minute review.
Exactly.
That would make me very happy. That would be awesome, actually.
It would be so embarrassing because I hardly understand what's going on. So to try to break this game down in any sort of critical way, I'll just make an ass out of myself. So why not? Let's
just fumble your way through it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I junction the mess out of this game. Oh yeah.
That'll be the title of the video.
Whatever that means. Golly. Junctioning extemporaneous and clockwise, dude. I don't know what's going on.
Fancy words.
What's up with you, Seth?
Okay. Well, I'll talk about a few things. First of all, more SteamWorld Heist 2. I feel like I'm getting close to the end. I put a ton of time into this game. I'm like 20 hours in. It's way bigger than the first one, like way bigger. The first one, I replayed that within the past year, and I 100%ed it inside of like 12 hours. This one, I'm still kind of like working through it. I feel like I'm getting close to the end, but like I said, I'm like 20 hours into this thing. It's definitely worth the time investment and the money. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. And we talked last week about obviously Bobby's inclusion in the game. That alone makes it worth playing. And by the way, for people who are not playing this or maybe haven't done this yet, Bobby has more dialogue. You can actually go back at later points in the game and he'll have new dialogue. And it's not a lot of new dialogue, and a lot of it is kind of just like kind of pushing you in the right direction. You know, games will do that. You talk to an NPC and they'll say, maybe go to this place and talk to this person. He has some stuff like that, you know? But he does have new dialogue, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. So been loving that. I've checked out this game that All In got a code for called Arco, which I think just came out today. And it's a really neat like pixel art tactics game that takes place in like the American frontier. I was streaming it yesterday on All In's channel. And it's a very neat game. Unfortunately, there was like an audio bug that I encountered that I reached out to the developers and they said, like, we're working on a patch. It won't be available for launch, but it is coming soon. The audio is a little bugged out at points, but it's a neat game where you're like making decisions, you're talking to people, and every little choice that you make apparently impacts the story. But the combat system is so cool and unique. We're kind of seeing it here on the screen. It's turn-based, but it's very like positional and almost like bullet hell. Like people will shoot at you and you have to like spend one of your turns to like dash out of the way of it. You have to really plan kind of your movement and your positioning and the way you like spend your turns. Like it takes some time for me to shoot that arrow there, but these bugs are inching closer and closer. So I have to like decide when I'm going to move and when I'm going to shoot. Meanwhile, there's those bombs on the map and I think I'm about to shoot one and it's going to shoot off bullets and kill all those bugs. It's a very neat combat system. I just used a dash to get away, and yeah, I don't know. I'm only a few hours in. I just streamed it for like 3 hours, but I'm really enjoying it so far. And I hadn't really even heard of it before, but it's getting all these rave reviews. Like I think Edge gave it like a perfect score. Yeah, it's getting these like crazy reviews. So I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Between this and SteamWorld Heist, like there's some really great tactics games on the Switch here lately. So I would recommend it if you're a fan of tactics games. This game's pretty sick. Lots of like branching paths and little choices. Oh, this is embarrassing. This part of the stream was tough. JB saw me doing this part.
Yes.
I'll just skip on past this one.
Yeah, because you have to do things like you have to. Oh, this is pretty embarrassing too. This is a boss fight. This is a really tough boss fight.
Oh, let's take it off.
Let's take it off. We don't have to watch me play it at all. We don't need to say that.
I'll go to
it's
the
really
trailer.
Cool. It's called Arco, ARCO, and it's really neat. And it has actually like a cool story to it that. Again, like from the sounds of it, like all of your choices like make an impact. There's a really interesting mechanic called guilt, where like if you do enough bad things, your character will feel guilty, and like your literal like internal demons will manifest on the field. There will be these like ghosts. Like there will be ghosts on the field that can move independently between turns and will like hurt you between turns if your guilt is too high.
I'm gonna say like
my
same,
guilt is
like,
high always.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, just anxiety.
Right.
You got
Normally.
they built anxiety into this game.
Basically, yeah, like just being defeated by your own demons. It's really interesting, man. I came into it with like zero expectation, and I was really impressed. Like I said, maybe wait on a patch or something, because it's unfortunate what was happening. The music of the game is really good. Just this kind of like a lot of like Spanish acoustic kind of inspiration with the soundtrack. Really, really good stuff, and just gorgeous pixel art and landscapes and stuff. But what I was noticing was like the audio would just full stop cut out, just like no music at all for extended periods of time. So it's a bug. They're fixing it, but you know, that was unfortunate. So I've been playing that. I also want to shout out just yesterday, I finally picked up Nintendo World Championships :
Yes, sir. I
NES
saw you
edition.
playing that. I saw your name pop up because that's what the only thing good about having friends on Switch Online is. You can see what they're playing. Dude, yes. Talk to me about this. I'm pumped. Yes.
Been playing it, and I like it. Despite everything, I do like it. The reason I picked it up is because our friend Andros from the Nintendo Pals reached out, and like we really want to do like more stuff together. And he was throwing out just some stream ideas and stuff like this. And one of them was like, let's co-stream some Nintendo World Championships. And we're doing that, I think, on Monday. And I was like, you know what? I've been kind of looking for an excuse to pick this up. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
So picked it up and been playing it. And yeah, having fun with it, again, despite everything. It's well documented.
Just the leaderboard, just the no friend leaderboard.
I know,
pretty bad.
If they just had that, it would be like so much more of a compelling package. But but it's still really cool. And one thing that I do really like about the game is, yes, like it itches my compulsive, like redo the same thing over and over and over until you get S rank on everything. Yes, I'm S ranking everything. I refuse to move on until I S rank. Yeah. So I've S ranked a bunch of the stages so far, and I'm also realizing how much I dislike the Switch Pro Controller's D-pad. I'm already like, I'm like, I think I need to get a different controller for this game because like I don't.
When they announced this game and it came out, I ordered the wireless NES controllers immediately because I cannot play these games properly without that, that creak you feel on the controller when you're holding it so tight, and it's so perfect, the NES versions.
Yeah, I gotta do it because it's just like I can tell like I should be doing better than this. Like little things, like little inconsistencies that I feel like are just because this D-pad is a little too squishy. So I and it also feels uncomfortable, right? Because you're playing Mario or something, for example, and it's only mapped to B and A. So like it doesn't even feel like, normal like modern Mario games, they'll map it to like Y and B or X and A. So your thumb can kind of naturally lay over both and you can kind of hit them. But this one, it's like the two right buttons because they didn't give you the option to remap. So it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel comfortable, So yeah, I think I need to buy one of those controllers just for this game, which is very stupid. But I think I'm gonna do it anyways because it's fun. I do like kind of learning new things about these old games. There's something about when you're able to just replay these little tiny sections. There is something magical about like how intricately designed these games are and like how much thought and care was put into everything back then. And how like, man, like if I just do this, if I just can jump on this pixel at the right time and, like just the seconds you can shave off, like it's really cool.
The feel you get, man. Like, 'cause that's how the muscle memory starts to build in. It's like, okay, if I push it just at that right time, like you get that perfect jump, like Mario hits the ground and then you're jumping again. You get that nice little like bounce kind of thing going on. It feels great, and that's why the controller, like, normally I would kind of like make fun of that kind of thing, but I think you're right. Like, it's got to feel like good in your hands. The button layout has to be exactly right. Chelsea was trying that too. I mentioned that, I think last week or the week before, and she did mention that as well, that the controller wasn't really jiving with her, like that she needed the old NES ones, man. Maybe we pick one of those up. Maybe that's a good Christmas present idea.
I got to, man. I got to. I can't do it with the Pro Controller. Not for like getting S ranks on stuff anyway, because like there's one of the early Mario 1 challenges is just basically complete 1-1 as fast as possible.
Yes.
And I got it. I'm like at A++, but I'm like, dude, I can't do this consistently enough with this controller. Like I need something else. I need a better D-pad for sure. Something that's a little bit more responsive. I don't know what it is. I can't play at the highest level with this controller. I just can't do it. So I'm like already getting very obsessive. It's already like,
it's there.
All of the neurosis that exists within my brain with games like these is being facilitated with this game. So I think I'm gonna get my money's worth out of this one.
Love it, man.
So
oh, so good. Yeah, I saw that pop up. I'm like, okay, Seth, yes, sir. I love it.
We broke down and did it. So
Good for you.
it's fun. It's fun to have. Good game.
Nice, man.
So hopefully they patch in leaderboards. That really is all
I
this
was
game's
just,
missing.
dude, it was on my mind, and I was like, I don't know if I was just, it's such a fanboy thing to say, like, yeah, sure, they'll fix it later, but they won't. Like,
They won't.
They absolutely
Yeah.
will. Like, this is it. Everybody bought it. It cost them $14 to make it, and
14 is crazy.
You're probably
look,
not that far off.
I have a huge amount of nostalgia for these games. It scratches that itch. I have a very similar, Seth and I have similar itches, as it turns out.
We need to get that checked out.
Yeah,
I
we
was
should
gonna
probably,
say, yeah.
probably work at that.
Y'all need to see a doctor.
But it causes, the reason I bring up the itches is it causes me to like really overlook quite a lot. Like if I'm being
Right.
truly objective, critical about this thing, like there's a bunch of problems with it in terms of like the formatting of the screen sizes, and there's very few options for you. Like I like that your very best time will always show up next to the screen that you're playing on, but it doesn't need to be the same size. You know, there's all sorts of, when you just look at it, we just had the trailer up here. Like I remember when this was first announced, there's just a ton going on. Like the design overall of it is kind of a mess, you know, for something that should be very simple of playing NES games as quickly as possible. There's a lot of odd design choices, but maybe I'm speaking out of turn, Seth, because maybe this is just how speedrunning stuff looks like. Like the clock, I think, looks quite particular to a speedrun kind of thing. Maybe this is part of it.
Clocks are important, but you know what also, like, it's a very minor thing.
Clocks are important.
That's a great quote. Clocks are important.
Words are
Put
like
that on the
quotes.
box. Put that on the back of the box. But you know what though? It's like why do I have to hit both triggers and then select to restart the stage? Like why can't I just hit something and it just immediately restarts?
Yeah.
Like where's that? Like it's little tiny thing. It's almost like
That's the $14 comment. Because it's like it's the
Right.
game itself.
Well,
Like
yeah.
it's not some sort of it's not anything. It's because if you press start, the game is playing the NES game. So if you had start, it would be pressing start in that game, if that makes sense. So you have to do something else. So it's such a Nintendo way of doing that like, yeah, it makes way more sense for you playing the game of World Championships, trying to speedrun this thing, to hit start and restart. But that's not what it is. It's an NES game. You got to wrap around it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I do like it, and I like there's little funny things that can happen. Like there's a challenge about like breaking, I think, 20 bricks as quickly as possible in Mario 1, and it's funny, like little things that can happen. Like if you get hit, it'll just kill the challenge. It's like you can't break bricks anymore because you're small,
Right.
Mario.
Right.
It's just like little stuff like that. It's just kind of funny. So
I'm
I
glad
don't
you
know,
play
but I like it. I would love for them to do like a third-party version of this. I would love to have like Mega Man related challenges, Kickle Cubicle, of course.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, everybody-
Rescue
Obviously.
Rangers, DuckTales
Yes.
in there.
That'd be
Totally.
tough.
That'd be good.
I would love that. I would love, I mean, you can keep this going on with Super Nintendo, obviously, would be incredible. It's good, man. I like it. Little
Mega Man
misgivings
Soccer.
aside, I do like it. Of course, yeah. Make a Genesis version, just Sonic Spinball, you know.
Dude,
Just do
I
that.
unironically
it.
like that game.
Here for
I know.
it. 100%.
I do too.
Yeah. The best Sonic game. Sonic Spinball.
Hey, I haven't played it yet, but
No
I did
comment.
get I got Sonic Superstars in the mail today. I haven't played it yet, but it was on Best Buy deal of the day for $10, and I was like,
Oh, that's a
mean-
great deal.
That is a good deal.
I was like $10, like I'm gonna buy that.
And
you
human
know,
dollars?
in human dollars, yeah.
Wow.
Human dollars?
Human dollars.
Yeah, so I haven't played it yet, but I bought it, and it came, and I was like, dude, you know what's funny? I feel like the way I feel about Sonic games, I think is the way most people feel about Ubisoft games. Like in 6 months, it'll be $10. You
Yeah.
know, so like, why would I buy it at launch? Like that kind of thing.
But I'm
That's
the
how
dummy
I-
that buys it at launch because I still buy it
There you go.
immediately when it
That's-
comes out. So
That's you got to support the devs, support
Yeah,
your Sonic devs,
my
Yeah.
Sonic overlords at this point. I mean,
Those
support
Sonic
your
devs.
local
Indie
organic
devs.
Sonic farm.
yeah.
Oh, no.
But are they like farming Sonics there? Like what's happening at that organic Sonic
Bunch
farm?
of hedgehogs popping
Yeah.
up out of the ground.
Yeah, just pull them out. Of the
Don't know,
ground.
but it's organic, and that's all that matters.
Farm to table.
Well, would you guys like to answer some organic questions from the community? from the Carpool gaming community?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
I like questions.
Let's
I love
answer some
questions.
questions.
They're so good to do. Please give me the question.
Feels so good to do. It's a little Izukimo in
I
there.
was gonna say.
Yeah. Little Izukimo. Okay. Well,
Thank you for your questions.
thank you for asking me. All right. The first question comes to us from Fuya, who says, "Hello, friends. A PlayStation Drive koala calling in with a question for yous. If you ran the Nintendo merch store and you were asked for ideas on art pieces to sell, i.e., paintings or prints, what would they be?" Yes.
Me.
Yes, Tony.
Well, I'd have to go with clearly something Luigi based. But you know in Luigi's Mansion, how you have those like really great shots of like Boo behind Luigi, just a window and something will light up in the cutscenes. Like I'd be plastering that everywhere. Like I'd have a buttoned up shirt with it on there, like just prints all over. Or like you know when there was the when Mario 64 got that DS version and you had Luigi, the blackjack dealer, and he had all those mini Luigi games, and there's like all those Luigi heads in a row, and you got to pick
sick.
the one that's like not Luigi. I'd put that on a shirt. I think it'd be pretty dope.
All over print?
Just everywhere, you know, Luigi everywhere. The year Luigi would be all over again. In that store. It'd be the year Luigi again.
Again. What
Again,
was
again.
the other one? Was the do I have any year Luigi behind me? I don't think I do.
They don't do that
What was
nearly
that?
enough. Every year's the
don't.
year something.
It should
Just
be
like
the year.
lean into
It
it.
should be.
Yeah,
It should be.
like a Chinese calendar. Like
Yeah, exactly.
you're the
The
rat.
Nintendo
That's
Zodiacs.
me. You're the rat, man.
Nintendo Zodiac, year of the DDD. That would
Yeah.
make
You're
me
the
happy.
DDD. That's a good one.
That's a year. That's a year.
Nothing would bring me more joy than that.
Dude, that would be incredible. We could actually make that.
we
That'd be good
could.
merch.
Yeah. That would
That's
be good
the
merch.
answer right there.
There it
To
is.
the
Oh,
question.
that is the answer.
did it.
Holy crap.
Organically, farm to table. You found the answer.
Farm to table. Yeah. Farm to table Nintendo merch.
Good
my
question.
gosh.
Good answer. Holy
Great
cow.
question.
Wow.
That was a good answer. What are you
love
thinking,
that.
JB? What Nintendo merch are you thinking?
Well, if we're gonna say art prints, I feel like kind of a smart thing to do would be, you know how in I don't remember. I know Sakurai posts a lot of like Smash Brothers screenshots and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of those random screenshots could easily be turned into prints and stuff, especially if you have a favorite character or something like that. I think at the end of like everyone's not story mode, but the little like survival thing.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name of it. It usually
Classic
has like
mode?
a classic mode.
Yeah.
Thank you. They usually have a a print at the end or something at the end that like represents that character in a funny way. But if we're doing merch, I just want official vinyls. That's all I want. I would
tell
just
me about
love a vinyl to have like all of the
AK
Splatoon
Slider.
music. Yeah, the like, Animal Crossing music, like Kirby music, any of it. I just want
mean,
it. Just give.
let's not get carried away.
Kirby has amazing music.
It does
You
have
got all of
amazing music.
Nintendo, and you're gonna go to
Kirby.
Kirby? Like that's
Yeah.
okay.
Gourmet
your
Race
answer.
is top tier.
It is top
Gourmet
tier.
Race is top
Butter
tier.
building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meta Knight's Revenge.
Yeah.
That
Whatever
won
we're
a
using
Grammy.
for
Meta
use
Knight's
right
Revenge
now.
won a Grammy. I don't want to hear it.
It did actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what a Grammy!
Yeah.
Yeah. A
The-
cover of it did.
Yeah, cover. What was it? The big bad
8-bit
video
big
game?
band?
8-bit big band.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
cool.
them.
So yeah.
Yeah, that I think that dude or one of the people from that band I think is the composer of Arzette.
Oh wow.
So yeah, which also is one of the best soundtracks of the year, despite what Ron would tell you, without having played the game, of course.
That's why we love them.
Yeah, that's why we love them. Yeah, I'm with you, JB. Vinyl is like money on the table to me.
That's what
It's
I'm
not
saying.
hard to press a vinyl, dude. Anybody
not.
can do it. You can pay money and just get a vinyl made of literally anything you want. Like Nintendo. Like I would spend a stupid amount of money on Nintendo vinyl by now if they
That's
just
what-
made it.
Like Sega does well, at least for
What
the last
Nintendo
two
don't,
Super
am I
Monkey.
right?
I know, right?
That's right.
But Sega with
Got
the
'em.
last two Super Monkey Balls, they made vinyls with I Am 8-bit. And like they made different little like color variants and stuff like that. And that's like
So
at least
cool.
in my head, easy money. You know what I'm saying? Have a Mario
Totally.
soundtrack. One's green, one's red, one's yellow, one's pink.
You'd have
That's
people
four
lining
vinyls
up for
that
that,
people
dude.
are gonna buy. You know, so
Yep. It would sell out. I'd buy it at a high price.
So,
I don't even
Like,
like
I feel like I'm like a
hotcakes.
fanboy of JB. Just like I'm just like listening to you, just like this is awesome. This is so good, man. Like I can't believe I'm podcasting with this guy. Right now. This is incredible. This is and Tony, of course, and Seth.
Everybody
and I miss
equally
Amanda
as
and
much.
Lachlan equally.
I love everyone.
Equal love. Yes.
But-
yes. But in this moment, I'm just caught.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Video game music, dude. There is money in them thar hills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
love it.
You have anything that comes to mind for you, Sean?
I want to take a Lakitu or a drone over Mario Kart tracks, take a picture, and be able to have that
Ooh,
delivered to
that'd
my
be
home.
tough.
I think that would be great. If I couldn't do that, then even the little thumbnails that show up on every track, I think are pretty beautiful. But often, and I've had this idea for a while actually. I don't know. It's a great question that's come up, but like every now and then, I'll look at the thumbnails, we'll call them, for the tracks on Mario Kart 8, and I'm like, that's the one we're going with there. Like that's I think we could do maybe a little bit. There's a better way to portray even Cheeseland. Even Cheeseland could have a better
Cheeseland.
image. Cheeseland, yes, of course. That is one. Fulia mentioned the question came to mind because she framed Paper Mario last night. Special shout out, a rare shout out to my dad. My dad made, he does stained glass. He made a stained glass piece for all of his kids. He's got 4 kids. And for my older brother, who does a lot of music, he made a piano out of stained glass. It's very beautiful and stylish. I'm not sure at the top of my head what my sister got. Maybe it's not done yet. I'm not sure. My younger brother got Goku, like God mode
Let's
Goku.
go.
Like it's just gorgeous. And for me, it's hanging in my front window, greeting anybody who dares to come to my front porch. It's a beautiful Paper Mario. Stained glass
Wow.
Paper Mario. I should take a picture of it. It's absolutely incredible. And I love it very much. So Dad should just get hired by Nintendo to do stained glass and ship them out to people
Easy
for
money.
a high price. Yes.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah,
It's a
you've
good-looking
been
thing.
here. Yeah. Yeah, he made it.
That's
And,
crazy.
like,
He made that.
I can't. He made it with his bare hands. I can't imagine how you don't like slice your hands on the sharp
His
glass.
bare hands?
His bare
He
hands.
has bare hands?
His bare paws. Made it with
makes-
his bare paws.
Anytime somebody uses the phrase "it gave me pause," that's what I always think of. Like it gave me pause. I love that. Yeah, I for me, the first thing that came to my mind with this question was like, how do they not just sell the paintings for Mario 64?
I mean, of course.
That would
yes.
be-
Like, how do they not just sell that? Like, how is that not just something that we can all have on our wall? They have it
Nintendo
at,
World.
yeah, they have it at Super Nintendo World. They just
What?
have them there.
Yeah,
They're
they
on
do.
the wall. They don't
do.
sell it, but they,
Oh,
they
don't
have
say-
it
I'm
there.
like, dude, I've been there how
Yeah.
many times? I haven't bought them yet. Yeah, you're right. They're there, but
No,
yes.
no. They have
Yeah.
them like in the castle when you enter. They have like the paintings on the wall,
Yeah.
and it's even like perspective. Like if you like look at it from different angles, it changes too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, dude, just sell like smaller versions of that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's. I mean, that's
Well,
the thing,
dream
man.
big, man. Make an IKEA style store, but with Animal Crossing stuff.
Oh,
They could.
That would be
You have
dope.
all your themed rooms. You got your bed that looks like a marshmallow or whatever the hell they got going on over there. I'm a little out of my element, of course, with the Animal Crossing stuff, but I think that could be a thing. You know,
Yeah.
I would
You know,
spend a
I
lot of
feel-
money in that store.
right?
I feel
Yes.
like something they could do is like, you know how they make the blind bags? You could easily do blind bags of Animal Crossing furniture and then like
Yes.
be able to set it up in like dioramas and stuff like that. Like that
Yes,
would be
sir.
fire.
Yeah, like they could have like Polly Pocket style like kits, just like
Basically, yeah.
toys, just in Animal Crossing. That'd be great.
These are free ideas, Reggie.
Yeah, you can have.
Come on, Reggie.
Come on.
Reggie. What are you sitting on this thing?
Dougie
for?
B, get on.
Write this down. Write this down.
Dougie Fresh.
Come on, Dougie Fresh. Okay,
Dougie B learning some things from this podcast. Okay.
Dougie.
take notes, dude. Take notes.
Dougie Fresh got me.
All right. Well, Brian Eck asks, with today's announcement of the Plucky Squires release date, how excited are you for this game? The beautiful art style has definitely piqued my interest, even though I don't know much else about it. For those interested, could you share a bit more about what the game offers, who's developing it, and why you might be planning to pick it up on day one? If y'all didn't see this, did get a release date today. I think it's September. Is it 17th or 18th?
Yeah, it's like
I
a
believe
week
it's
or two
17th.
before Zelda.
17th?
I believe it's 17th, yeah.
So finally got a release date. I do want to shout out that last week on the show, somebody asked us I don't remember who it was, but somebody asked like the games that need release dates still that we don't have them. And this was like the first thing that came to mind, obviously. And so sure enough here. So there you go. We manifested that into existence. And the other game that we shouted out was MVC Collection. And it seems like that is going up on a lot of retailers for November 22nd. So that maybe has something of a release date too. So, who knows?
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I'm really, is everybody here looking forward to this? What are y'all feeling?
1000%. I'm ready for it. I've been following, I believe he's the creative director on, or at least like the guy who does the main art, James Turner. I've been following him for like years at this point. So to finally see that this is coming out, I'm so excited. I know he did a lot of work on a couple of the Pokemon games and stuff like that too. So more or less, I'm happy. Like, yes, it's coming out, but I'm also happy because I feel like for him, this is like his style. Everything he draws looks exactly like this, you know? So I'm just excited that this art style is something that's like getting bigger for him and stuff like that, and people can see his beautiful art. So yeah.
Great fake out in the trailer too. Like
I love that fake out.
I loved it.
I'm just watching this. I saw the date pop up earlier online today, but I didn't see the trailer that we're watching here on the stream. This is incredible. Yeah, they totally faked you out, I think, in January 2025.
And when I saw that, I was like, I'm like, that's okay. That's not too bad.
Right.
And then I was just like, yes, September, let's go.
It's in like a month.
It was great.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Yeah. What about you, Tony?
I too have been following this guy on Twitter for a long time. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's like Josh.
Yeah, James Turner.
Yeah, James Turner. Yeah. And I've been following him on Twitter for a long time because he posts these awesome little mashups. Like usually it'll be like Kirby and Yoshi and Mario kind of drawings in that style. And yeah, he's been when we found out about this game and that he was doing it, it made complete sense because it's just his style and it's gonna just blow up. I think it's gonna be amazing. Everyone's looking forward to it. It's so creative how I just wonder if they can pull it off because like that 2D stuff looks great, but when they jump out and they're changing perspectives, like how big is that going to be is what I'm curious about. But it seems like it's been cooking for a long time. It's been in the oven for a while. So the fact that I don't know, I think it's going to hit. I think it's going to hit the way it's supposed to hit.
Yeah. They have not been shy to let it cook longer. So I feel like they're confident. I like it when like a developer seems confident in their own thing. There's a lot of confidence here. What about you, Sean? Where are you at with this?
I want this book. I want everything about this game. It looks incredible. It got one of the more memorable reveals back when we first saw this because it did that jump from 2D, that cartoon style, and it's like, and then they leap out of the pages and you're in a 3D world. Like, that's great. I love being surprised like that, and to have this releasing so soon, dude. I can't say anything other than what has already been said about it. Give it to me now, just enough time before Zelda. I think this is smart. I don't know if maybe they were trying to see if they could kind of jockey for position in a way, and that's what took them so long to nail the release date here. But I'm glad they did. That seems to make a lot of sense. Get in there just before Zelda, and really before what is about to be just an absolutely insane fall and holiday season.
Yeah.
So, that they'll get there, and who said? I think Tony's everybody's excited for this game. They'll be able to buy it and play it and enjoy it, and then move on to whatever's after that as we do. So
yeah, it's true. It's on PS Plus day one.
Yep. Oh yeah,
which is great for them. I like JB that you brought up the people making it. James Turner had been a Game Freak employee for years. I think he joined Game Freak in like Gen 3 or Gen 4 or something like that of Pokemon. And he was the creative director of certain games from Game Freak, like Harmonite on the 3DS, if anybody played that. He was also the director of Tembo the Badass Elephant, if anybody played that.
Great name.
So he, what a game. It was okay. It was fine.
No, great name. Great name.
Great name. Yeah. But he has these kind of unique ideas, and after Scarlet and Violet, which he was also the art lead of and designed a lot of those Pokemon, he left to found this new studio called, I think they're All Possible Futures, I think is the studio name. And now they're this is their debut game, and it looks great, man.
Dude, how do they nail both art styles in the same
I know.
game. 2D and 3D look great. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it.
Hope it runs well on Switch.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's always, I feel like that's my consistent like worry with stuff like this is I just hope it runs well. But yeah, I'm really excited. The pedigree's strong. Look at this, man.
It looks so beautiful. It really does.
Yeah, can't
Yep.
wait.
Give it to me now. Or September 17th, whichever.
Give it to me
I
on
want it
September 17th.
now.
Okay, let's see.
question.
The Jiggy Collector. Yeah, good question, Brianek. The Jiggy Collector asks, what game from the past, no current, let's say GameCube and below, would make a good movie? My pick is Vigilante 8.
Whoa.
How
Yes, sir.
how awesome would a car combat with a story element be in theaters? What a pull. Vigilante 8?
Vigilante 8, yes. Yeah, PlayStation,
Let's
wasn't
go.
it? PS1?
I think so. But it's early. I haven't thought about Vigilante 8 in years, dude. Yeah, any old games that y'all think would make a good movie? I have one right away. The first thing that popped into my head was Chibi Robo. Like, I think Chibi Robo would make a
interesting.
fantastic, like, Pixar-style, like, kind of animated film. Like, I think Chibi Robo would be great for that. So that
I'd
was
go
my
Punch
first
Out.
thought.
Punch
Oh,
Out would be
okay.
tough.
Yeah.
I go Punch Out. The characters,
Yeah.
man, are so great. That would be. It's probably more of a TV series, kind of like a Monster of the Week
Yeah.
kind of thing. With
I think it'd be a
know.
great anime, like
Yeah.
a weekly anime building
be
up to the
fire.
fights.
yes, yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll go Punch Out. Shout out to Punch Out, maybe.
Okay. What are y'all thinking?
I'm gonna say I think Dino Crisis is one of my go-to. I
Oh.
think that'd make a great movie.
Ooh.
It's you got some suspense, you got some action, you got a strong female lead. Like, what more do you need? You know, give me the popcorn, and the summer
Yeah.
blockbuster, and we're good.
What a call.
Kind of hoping you'd like name a licensed game and flip it back to a movie, like Top Gun the video game. That should be a movie.
Yeah, I thought about
It's-
that. Like
it's fun-
DuckTales.
It's funny because I was looking at my shelf and like half of the GameCube games I have over here is Shrek 2, Robots, Shark Tales, and I was just like, yeah, I could do it. That would be
Shark
funny.
Tales.
You already
Yeah.
got the licensed games
Yeah,
covered
exactly.
over there.
But it was two I had off the top of my head. First thing I thought was Kingdom Hearts, just because I want to animate a movie of that.
I mean,
I think it would be
Yeah.
fire. But the second one, which I believe there's rumors about it happening, I believe, but Jack and Daxter. Either
yeah.
Jack 1 or Jack and Daxter or Jack 2. I think Jack 2 would be way more like suspenseful and stuff like that. But those are games I love. I just think that would be really dope to see like on the big screen. I don't know if I would want live action, to be honest. But if they do, I guess we got to get Tom Holland to play somebody.
Of course.
So, yeah,
Obviously.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. So
Could you imagine?
What did I just see? Chris Pratt is in something else. What the heck was it?
Garfield.
Oh, was it Garfield? Oh,
he
it's
is in
the-
Garfield.
He is Garfield.
Oh no, it was a Way of the Warrior Kid. Well, it's not a video game thing at all. So forget me.
Completely unrelated.
Unrelated altogether. But
Yeah, no-
aside from the Chris Pratt thing, I
Well,
love that though. The funny thing is, because I want to say things like Metroid, but like Metroid's based on aliens. You know.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Punch Out would be like Rocky, really. But the anime
Yeah.
angle is nice. Like I kind of
The anime angle is the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You could do a Star Fox one. I mean, I know, aren't they supposed to be
that
doing
would
like
be
a series or something like
great.
that? You know, Star Fox
Should
would be
it
fire.
should it look like that Thunderbolt style with like the puppets and the marionettes? Like
I
go
loved
way
that.
and do like a full movie, or
Yeah,
like
that'd
Team
be
America
fire.
version
Great.
of Star Fox.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll bring Star Fox back. Star Fox is resting right now. Star Fox is in a deep
He's
slumber.
getting a good sleep. Getting a really good sleep.
In space.
You
He
sleep
better be
real
well
nice.
rested when it wakes up.
That, you know what though? That actually segues us well into Clayton Dwyer's question. Are there any Nintendo franchises that haven't had a Switch entry yet that you think will pop up before we move on to the next generation? I'm thinking a new Star Fox could be a nice surprise at the September Direct. What are y'all thinking about that?
What's left?
That's what I'm saying. What's left at this point, right?
Rhythm Heaven.
Yes.
I say it every
Tony.
direct.
Oh, there it is.
I need
Every
it.
direct I ask for
Yes.
it. Rhythm Heaven. It's gonna show up. It's time. It's great for Switch. Great closing outs of Switch 1 into Switch 2. You know, I think that'd be good.
What an answer. What a good answer. Are you thinking, do you think they're going to do a new one, or do you think they're just going to put like Mega Mix on
It's gotta.
Switch?
It's gotta be a new one. Like
Yeah.
Mega Mix would be great because it is a compilation of all the best ones, but I think it's got to be new and fresh, something fresher, and like maybe switch it up the formula just a little bit, just enough.
Yeah.
We
I
need a
would
really
freak
good
out.
rhythm game. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had a good rhythm
Freak
game
out.
in a hot minute, so
Donkey
Yeah.
Konga.
Yeah.
I do have the bongos sitting over
So
there.
do
And
we.
Donkey Konga
Yeah,
is
man.
on
Yeah.
the shelf. It's on the shelf. So
I'd be good with that, honestly. I'd be okay with that. I mean, it'd be a little bit of a slap in the face, you know, for Donkey Kong fans.
Oh,
but
could you imagine though? Like people are
get
like, we're getting a
returns
3D. Yeah.
And then Donkey
brand
Konga.
new Donkey Kong game. The first brand new Donkey Kong game for the Nintendo Switch era. Donkey
Konga
Konga.
3.
And you play it with your Switch Joy-Con.
Don't even make it a new one. Make it a remaster of the old one.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed. Jesus Christ, I would be so mad. If they just remade the first one. Oh
Oh,
goodness.
it's so good.
Set it up like they show just like these beautiful shots of like Donkey Kong's like highly rendered like fur,
Lush
just like look
jungle.
at
Yeah.
And then you just hear,
but it's
He just sits down.
and everyone's like,
that'd be so sick. Amazing. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hate to be this guy, but like Star Fox, he's taking a real long nap, dude. He's like, it's kind of. I'm a little worried about Star Fox. I don't know if we're seeing a new Star Fox, dude.
Okay,
I'm giving up
okay.
hope.
We want to beg for it. We don't want it to just like show up. We want to be desperate for it. We're not desperate for Star Fox yet.
Star Fox
No?
is in a coma. That's what's happening.
He might be taking a dirt nap, dude. For all we know, he might.
Are
this
we desperate? Are we desperate for Star Fox? Like I don't know. If I think we're okay. Like just a little longer. Of course, I would like one. I'm trying to differentiate. Like when you're in a desert and you're thirsty.
Right.
Like I don't think we're quite there. I feel like the taint of Zero is still here. I think people still.
Okay.
The wound is still.
It's,
Like,
That
it's
sentence
like-
could have went many ways, Sean. Could have went a few different ways. Yes.
Extemporaneousness of
Yes.
of Star Fox Zero. Yeah. And my problem with Zero is not what everybody else had a problem with, like the motion controls. I just thought the game was boring. I thought the game
Yeah.
was not good.
I actually was fine with the controls.
Same. I thought it was neat.
But yeah, it was. They just don't know what to do with it. Like everything has kind of been like Star Fox 64 was the peak. No,
It was.
like they nailed it right then, and then it's been downhill ever since.
Battle Royale.
No, like
Star Fox Battle Royale, man.
I'd be okay with that. That's what they did with F
Star
Zero.
Fox 99. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
see
F
imagine
Zero
them
is right up
announcing
there too.
that battle royale with that music would be like dun 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 dun, and then just like 99
that'd
ships
be-
just roll in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you do it.
Sick.
I
You-
could see
you
them
figured
doing
it
that
out.
with a lot of like the classic, like Nintendo games, stuff like that. Star Fox like 99 would be so fun to do.
Yeah, man.
Imagine if you
Yeah.
did like a Punch Out 99 where it's like a bunch of people are playing, you're going against each other maybe. I don't know. Just ideas.
That'd be
Spitballing,
cool.
you know?
Dr. Mario 99.
We
Dr.
we
Mario.
did this.
We got
I think
Tetris 99,
We
so
could have a Dr. Mario game
Yeah.
on the Switch. We could do that.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those older franchises that I feel like that is probably just like the best tact to take with some of them. Where like I feel like that worked really, really well with F-Zero 99. I feel like that was so much more successful than like probably they even thought. They're still supporting that game.
Yeah,
you know,
very
Tetris
good.
99 is another that game's still getting supported.
Very
You
good.
know,
Yeah,
Like,
what's the next one? I feel Tony, you tweet that out. The next Maximus
Splatoon
Cup.
3 DLC.
Yeah.
Which
Splatoon.
one?
The Splatoon one with and it has like the DLC included.
the side order?
That's
Yeah.
why I didn't
Yeah.
remember it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, Splatoon.
I saw something about a new Splatfest happening, but I don't think Nintendo of America announced it. I saw it on Nintendo of Japan. They were talking about the final Splatfest, and
Yes.
it's going to be like this giant, festival with all the groups singing and everything. Looks pretty good. But like, I don't know why NOA has not been tweeting about it yet. They seem like they've been kind of doing some weird stuff today on their Twitter account. Have you seen that
yeah,
at all?
it's just
or-
that.
I did
bonk
see
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was
just
like
Mario with
bonk,
the
and then they
hammer.
just showed a couple boos. Like somebody is just like, I don't know, drinking the
Yeah, do what
Somebody
we
was
Kool-Aid.
on
want.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. The interns are running the account today.
Let's bring your
Yeah.
kid to work day. That's what.
Yeah.
Let the cat
Dougie
walk
B.
on the
Yeah, that's
Junior
why you're
browser.
here,
Yeah.
JB.
Wow.
Damn.
Got him.
Okay, Dad. I'm sorry. I'm
You're
sorry.
doing great.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
proud of you.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, Here's a real quick question from Yarden that I feel like we can probably just tackle real quick. Yarden says, "Whenever I hear Doom music, I instantly want to break stuff. Is there something wrong with me?"
No.
Nope.
That's the right
Working as
response.
intended.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Not for that reason.
Working as intended. Nothing wrong with you at all. Rip and tear, my friend.
I feel like it's the same like feeling as whenever you hear like the Guardian music from Breath of the Wild. You just get really anxious all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, I gotta
It's
go
like,
into
wait a
like
minute.
high alert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time. Something primal about Doom music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Release your inner beast.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
like when Sonic is drowning. I'm like, man, I think I should take a breath here.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Sonic's
everybody's
getting way too
favorite
much love
topic.
today. That's enough.
Sonic,
Let
yeah, a
him
little too much
drown.
Sonic.
That's
Yeah.
take it.
There's never enough Sonic. We need to
That's
amp it
enough.
up a little bit.
Kind of injected a little too much Sonic into tonight's show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's everybody's favorite topic, Switch 2. Quaggy has asked, "It is I, the Quaggy, king of the Xenobabes. With the recent rumors of late 2025 for the Switch 2, how are you feeling about that? I was certain we would have gotten it this year, as my fantasy draft shows, and I find it incomprehensible if we really don't get it until nearly 2026. Come on, Reggie. Is this
Come
too
on,
long of a
Reggie.
wait? Come on, Reggie." So, what he's referring to here, I don't know if y'all saw this or not. I'm sure you did. There was a recent report, I think from Bloomberg, where developers are evidently, according to them, being told not to expect Switch 2 until April 2025 at the earliest. And that's kind of the rumor. Now, y'all know, we've been hearing Switch 2 rumors for actual years. So who knows how accurate any of this stuff is. The only thing we know for sure is what Nintendo has said, which is we're revealing the thing before March of 2025, but we have no idea when it's going to come out. So, I guess how are y'all feeling about it? First of all, do we buy into it at all that like the thing is not coming out until April at the earliest? If not, when? And is this something to be worried about at all? I feel like the internet's kind of freaking out about this.
Well, it's kind of weird. So we always have these cycles every few months where it's like everyone starts freaking out, talking about the Switch 2, and then being like, "Oh my God, it's delayed from a place that we've never actually known a date from."
Right.
And like you said, when I started reading this, I was like, "This is kind of like non-news that people are spinning up. It must be a slow news week, you know? They gotta
Right.
they gotta reach for it because it's the last thing Furukawa said was, we're gonna announce it or talk about it before the end of the fiscal year. They never said anything about it coming out. So I think people just latched onto the idea that it would make sense for them to repeat Switch 1 timing,
Yes.
go with March. And you know what? End of fiscal year for Nintendo, March 31st. April to March isn't really that big of a difference. So if it is spring and still like April, May, I think that's okay. And that's kind of what I expected anyway. Like, end of March, April, May. I didn't expect it for this year, but I'd be pretty disappointed if it did come out at the end. But I could, with Nintendo, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't think there's it's interesting to me that some people were kind of latching onto the idea of it coming out this year. I'm like, I don't think there's been any indication of it releasing this year. Especially when there's like major games still coming out on Switch 1, like, Mario and Luigi's in November or something
Yeah,
like
we got
that.
a great fall lineup coming up, so.
Yeah. So there's no reason for them to say anything this year, I don't think. I kind of was, admittedly, I was sort of in this mindset of like maybe a quick turnaround of like they did with Switch 1 of like maybe announce it in like January and then release it in March or something like that. That would make sense. It's like the fiscal year and everything like that. But I also feel like Nintendo is going to, do what makes sense for them and the lineup that they're cultivating for that. I think the biggest thing that was such a huge boon for Switch 1 was that launch lineup. And I think that's probably the number one thing they want to make sure is in place, is
I
making
think they're
sure
super
that
nervous about that, right? Like
Yes.
they want to make sure they nail that launch. They want a game
Yes.
that's, Breath of the Wild caliber to launch their
Yes.
system. That was the whole thing. You wanted that new system to play Breath of the Wild. Like that's what you wanted to do on it, and it didn't matter what else was around it, really. And then they had that great cadence of releases, except for Arms 2. Poor guy got stompled, or Arms 1 got stompled on. Hopefully Arms 2
will get stompled by Splatoon 4.
Probably, because they're getting the end of that
Right.
Splatfest happening.
Yeah,
so
true.
it probably is going to. But I think they really need that launch lineup, that 12 months of just hit after hit after hit. And if it is launching in the summer or the spring, they got to make sure something lines up real big for the fall of that console.
Yep. What are you feeling, JB?
Man, I want them to take as long as possible. I am A-okay with them taking all the time they need. I have no worries about it, because at the end of the day, I don't even know what this thing is going to be. I don't know what the like upgrade of it is even going to be. Like, I doubt that they're going to like, I don't think they're going to like segregate like the Switch 1 and Switch 2 users and stuff like that. I don't believe that's going to be a thing. But again, I don't see a way for them to, at least a plausible way, without it being like, I mean, besides like the basic stuff, oh, bigger storage, bigger, you know, it can run better, all that other type of stuff. Besides that, I don't know what it's going to do, you know? So I'm cool with them taking as long as they need. Again, they do still have a good lineup between now and like November and stuff like that. So we didn't know what the future holds. So
maybe the eShop will function. That'd
That'd be good.
I'd be
I was
down for
complaining
that.
about that today, actually. I was like, I can't. It's so slow and laggy.
pretty
Because
slow.
they
So
just
slow.
fix the eShop, do the update, do the web maintenance. It's just a web page, right? So like, it does not function well.
So many games. Like it's hard to remember where Nintendo was at in 2015, 2016, just like the doldrums, you guys. Like just the worst. This is
Nothing.
the end of times. It's awful. And so to be now at a point where we're desperate for the next one and it's all anybody can talk about. And when we think about the eShop, there are literally like thousands upon thousands of games to play. Like that's not what the Wii U was. You
At
know?
all.
No.
There are probably more games that come out within a 2-week time frame on Switch than there were in the entire lifetime of the Wii U. Like it is completely opposite. So obviously there's no rush for Nintendo. And I have gone through this cycle, this roller coaster ride. I was ready for a Switch 2 after like 3 years, just because I like new stuff. I like to be, you know, I like to have the new shiny thing. But I think I'm kind of with you, JB. And I don't know if it's just because I've been beaten and battered over the years of, oh, it's definitely coming and here it is. And now I'm kind of like, okay, if it shows up next year, that's fine. I just played Mario Odyssey with my daughter earlier today, and that was pretty great. And I think we just got Seth, you mentioned we got a date for that Marvel versus Capcom
November.
collection.
Looks like, yeah.
Like, we're getting good new games. I guess that's kind of new. So I'm pretty pleased with my Switch still. But the moment that they crack that door open a little bit and go, here's what that lineup is. Here's what Star Fox is out of his coma. We got him.
Wake him up, baby.
Shook him up.
Can you imagine? Like the number one, day one is Star Fox, Switch 2, whatever that is. Then I change my tune immediately. The only reason I'm able to say I'm pretty cool with whatever we've got right now is because I have no idea what's on the other side of that door, of the Switch 2 door. And if it's anything even remotely like Breath of the Wild, then I think that's what gets people excited. Because we still remember what that was like to be able to play a game that vast, that gigantic leap forward for Zelda as a franchise. Like what was it? It was Skyward Sword was the game before Breath of the Wild, right?
Dang,
so
was it?
Yeah.
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
that's what I, so that's what I mean. Like, and I'm glad you had that reaction, JB, because it's like sometimes you almost need that reference point for that's what Nintendo is capable of. And anytime that we're disappointed in Nintendo for this, that, or the other thing, it's like, because we just saw what you did with Zelda. Now your backs were up against the wall and everybody thought you were done for or whatever. But like, that's the magic. And maybe there's a franchise out there that is ready for that gigantic leap from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild. I don't know what it is or what franchise is there, but that's what a new console should bring as far as like possibilities go, because that's what it used to be about. When you played Mario 64 on a JB, let me just like before your times.
Okay, Dad,
We
I'm
were playing
listening.
Mario
I'm locked in.
World. We were on Super Nintendo, and then Mario started moving around in 3 dimensions, man. I feel like that's the leap from Skyward Sword to Breath of the Wild, and that's what a console generation can do for us. It's still there. Nintendo just proved it in the last console generation, we've lost hope in Xbox land and PlayStation land. Like, it's just everything is prettier, I guess. That's what we get with the next generation. With Nintendo, like, this is why they're holding on to it, because they know there's something more than just a prettier version of whatever the last game is. So when I kind of get my hype up like that, then I'm very excited about what's next. But they haven't shown me, so I can still be kind of chill about it.
And you know, what you saying it? Dang, I lost the point. What I was gonna say was the parallel, kinda, because we've been bringing up Star Fox. I feel like it's somewhat of a parallel, Star Fox Zero to Skyward Sword, because people didn't like Skyward Sword at first because of the motion controls and everything like that, and just they were like, oh, it's not fun, I can't play it and stuff like that. So there is the possibility of, you know, I feel like now thinking about it, that Star Fox could be. Okay.
No Man's Star Fox.
No Man's Star Fox.
Sky.
Yeah. But I feel like Star Fox could be the thing that like launches off to the next console. I remember where I was going with it now. That they probably are taking a while just because they want to give you a good game. Like, you see what happened with Breath of the Wild and like how it blew up into like this whole thing. We get we get a sequel to Breath of the Wild, and then like we're still low key like riding off the coattails of it with the Zelda game that's supposed to be coming out and stuff. So like I feel like they're really trying to get a game, or at least a franchise, that they can do something similar with. You know, like if they do a Star Fox game, they're like, okay, we can do this one and then we'll jump off and do another one. Or even if it's like we do this one Star Fox game and then we jump over to like Metroid or something like that. And then with Metroid we get the spin-off or whatever they, you know, plan on doing. So I don't know. I mean,
dude, what if they nail an MMO? Like, Nintendo is so not multiplayer, like everybody talks about that. Like, what if they just totally surprise you? Because they weren't doing really open world games before, and then they do Breath of the Wild. It's like, this is how you do open world games.
Yeah.
Like, what if they come up with like an MMO? Like, all of us are playing this gigantic game together.
I could look see a Splatoon MMO. Like, imagine if Splatoon 4 was like, okay, you get your story mode, you get the multiplayer, but then there's like an open world where like this giant, vast, like, part, it's like, or maybe that could be the story mode. It's like the story mode is like a bunch of people in this world together and stuff like that. So
be cool.
Ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I when I look at what their launch lineup should be whenever the thing comes out, I'm like, you know, I think of stuff like Mario Kart. You know, they have that in the back pocket, which like what does the next Mario Kart look like? That's the, you know, the best selling, not only the best selling racing game of all time, one of the best selling games of all time, period, let alone on the Nintendo Switch. So if they just launch Switch 2 with the next Mario Kart game, like whatever the case may be, like really, game over.
Yeah.
Game over, dude. Like, that's it. That's all they got to do. You know, so I don't know. I do think, to Tony's point earlier, I do think that they're carefully considering that. And another thing that I think is really important for people to remember, especially because there are a lot of people who, I apologize for how gatekeepy this sounds or whatever, but there are a lot of people who became Nintendo fans from the Switch. And so a lot of people were not there in the Wii U days, where 2016, I think we had like Planet Robobot and Rhythm Heaven. I think that was like it the whole year. You know what I mean? Like, you talk about a drought. Everybody now, we're getting a new first-party Nintendo game like every month. Y'all, it was not always like this. You know, like we're riding high these days, you know? So, like, I think about it, they're in such a much more advantageous position coming into Switch 2 than they were with the Wii U. Like, they had nowhere to go but up from the Wii U. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that they know they have to get this extremely right. With whatever this is, whenever it is. And I don't blame them for wanting to take their time to do it, if that's what the case may be. Like, if that's what they're going to do, if it is coming late 2025 or whatever, like, I'm good with that, man. Because like you said, like, we don't even know what it is yet, you know, like, and we won't know until possibly March, you know, whenever they unveil this thing. So.
And like, look, I got 2 pre-orders of Zelda Switch Lite special editions already in my back pocket. So, like, I got more Switches, you know? We got Switches. All they need to do, if they have to delay it more, is just make more special edition Switches, and suckers like me will keep buying them.
Yeah. Nintendo's doing just fine for now, man. They'll be okay. And I think JB's right, too. I don't think that it's going to be a situation where just, like, hard stop, no more Switch 1 stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to be, you know, like, it wasn't even until recently that, like, we stopped seeing games come out on PS4 and PS5, right? Like, you know, even God of War Ragnarok and Horizon, like, those are cross-platform games. I think we're going to see a little bit of that for the first year or two of Switch 2 anyways. They're not going to abandon that install base, dude.
And there's been no price drops. Zero price drops.
None.
What kind of console goes through this long with no price drops? You know, sales here and there, but it's crazy. Like, they could, if they had to delay it, they could just make these things super cheap and they'd fly off the shelves.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a cheap Switch Lite that has, like, remember when the 3DS and 2DS was so cheap before the end of the life, where you could just buy one for your kid and be like, here you go, that's fine, take it. You know,
Yeah, they
it
really
doesn't matter what
more
happens to
expensive
it.
now.
Yeah, they're way more expensive now.
Way more.
I mean, the true, like, real accolade for the Switch, I think, is, like, staving off the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Right?
Totally.
Like, they had this weird release point, like, when Switch showed up in 2017, One X and the PS4 were already, like, well on their way, and it wasn't as powerful. And now here we are 4 or 5 years into PS5 generation, and Switch is still doing fine. You know, and I think Nintendo's been watching that very carefully to go, how rushed are they in terms of releasing the next console, and seeing that they're able to still outsell the most powerful consoles out there. They're like, yeah, we're good. You know, there's zero rush on whatever's next, because I don't think there's going to be anything much more compelling out of PS5 or Xbox. That might be the most inflammatory thing that I say today, but like, what does Xbox or PlayStation have up its sleeve that would completely derail what Nintendo's got going on right now? Right? Like, I'm hard pressed to think of anything. It's just going to be, and that's not to say there's not exciting stuff happening over there. Like, Dragon Age just got its release date, which looks awesome, and I'm stoked for that. And Star Wars is coming out at the end of the month. Like, there's really good stuff coming out. But that's not what I mean. It's what does Nintendo doesn't have anything to be worried about. Really.
They're playing a different game. Nintendo's playing 100%. A totally different game. 100%. Like, it's not competition, because, like, they've created their own market. And like, the thing about it is like, especially with the AAA games industry right now, it's completely unsustainable. It's why we're seeing layoffs. Games are so expensive to make. And Nintendo said, hey, like, what if we just kept our games at an appropriate scale, an appropriate budget? The hardware is less powerful, so we're not spending $300 million making these damn things. We're not spending, you know, with the exception of big games like Zelda and Mario and stuff, we're not spending 5-6 years making them. Yeah. And we're also, you know, and I'm sure that when we get to Switch 2, the gap is going to be a lot smaller in terms of that stuff as they get, you know, more powerful and things like that. But Nintendo, really, since the GameCube, has been focused on this, like, they call it a blue ocean strategy. And I think that, like, now more than ever, it's proven that it works, man.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the modern age, like, this mentality works. And, you know, I know that we're all Nintendo fans here, but it's hard not to look at that and say, like, you know, look, you got to remember too, even when the Switch came out, like, when the new consoles were coming out and stuff was like, you know, there were chip shortages and things like this, Nintendo didn't even have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know, like, they were on shelves when PS5s and Xboxes weren't. They're the ones that were there.
They dodge all the problems of being
totally
cutting edge. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting, man. It's a really fascinating time for them. And whenever they unveil it, I'm going to be excited to see what's next. So, yeah.
Project
Good discussion.
Octopath Traveler 3.
It would be 3 now. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be 3. God, I just
try.
Oh man, I would love. Look,
Try.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we talk about new ideas, it shows up on other channels, but we'll give this one a shot. We'll test this one. See if it shows up somewhere else. I'd love to live react to that January 2017 Nintendo session where they revealed, like, the Switch, and just like, look at all the third-party support we have. And like, back then that was a huge deal, but it was like kind of laughable if we think about it now. That's where we saw Project Octopath Traveler. That's where we saw 1-2 Switch. That's where, you know, we got probably, we could joke about the rest of that event, the single greatest video game trailer of all time, the Breath of the Wild trailer, particularly the one in Japanese, is excellent.
Certainly.
But I'd love to go back, you know, just kind of like refresh our memory a little bit. We can talk about Switch 2, we can talk about whatever, but like, we got to remember what it was like.
Y'all forgot how good you got it. You know? Gotta teach these kids.
Grateful.
Yeah.
Be grateful.
Yeah, I think people generally are. I think people
Yeah.
have kind of calmed down on Switch 2 stuff, and yeah, whatever comes, whatever. I don't know. I don't listen to anybody else, so we got more than enough content here at Carpool to keep up with. So I don't know what other people are saying. Are people mad about Switch 2, JB? Do you think are people?
I haven't seen anybody upset
Yeah.
about Switch 2. I mean,
Yeah.
only thing I was tired of is every time a direct came, everyone was like, Switch 2, Switch 2. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear that, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we'll see, man. You got to imagine, like, September Direct probably is coming up, you know?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because
handle
I feel like we just got one. Like,
I
I feel
know.
like that.
yeah,
I'm like,
it does
full.
feel like we just got one.
yeah. I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat no more.
Tell me
Come on,
what.
Grandma, I already ate.
No cookies for me,
Want some
please.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. Well, great discussion, guys. Thank
Yeah.
y'all.
Great
Thank y'all
discussion.
so much, and thank you. Thank you again to Tony and JB for coming on through, guys. I guess this is normally where Locklith would ask people where they can find you, and then I would read off Patreon shout outs and stuff like that. So I'll take the place of Locklith tonight. Sean's looking for a physical, I think. Somewhere back there. Yeah, is that what you're doing? I'll let Sean do the physical. Go
Best
for it.
physical
What you
I
got?
think I can grab real quick is this gold cartridge for Nintendo World Championships NES edition.
Let's go.
It has nothing
Yep.
inside though. There's nothing. I can still do the whole like blow the cartridge and just make sure it works. But this is
Yeah.
real shiny. I like it very much. I'm getting my fingerprints all over it.
It's very shiny.
But it's very nice. You guys can see your reflections in there. There's
Oh,
That's
there-
me.
yeah, there he
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
very nice. Just reminds you what the good old days were like. Just very
Yeah.
nice.
Some member
Very
babies.
nice.
Friends leaderboards, man. Leaderboards for our friends. Even had the little sleeve here,
Agreed.
too.
Yeah, there you go. Just like the good old days, man.
Yes, sir.
I love
There's
it.
your
Okay,
physical.
there's your physical. Thanks for that, Sean. Tony,
You're very welcome.
where can people find you online, my friend?
You can find me everywhere at Tony Baker 87. That's the name I use in real life and all over the internet. So you can just find me on any social network, any game platform using that name. And I got some Quest for Pixel stuff coming up.
Yes.
Hopefully
Let's
soon.
go.
That's coming out of retirement, so we're gonna see what we can
Yeah.
do with that. And just keep an eye on those socials, and I'll show you where it's at.
I love it. I love it. Yay, B. Where can people find you, dude?
Yo, you can find me everywhere at PMEJIB. Find me on Spotify, Apple Music, any digital streaming platform. PME. Go stream that lo-fi music, that good
Let's
stuff.
go.
You feel me? Yeah, that's all I got.
I love it, dude. I love it. Yes. Sean, where can people find you,
You can
dude?
find me on MySpace and Twitter at Sean Capri. Sean,
Not
like Connor
MySpace.
Capri, like the pants. Not on MySpace. I actually don't think you can find me on MySpace. I don't think I ever hit
Is
that
that still around?
one.
MySpace?
I don't know.
I wanted to make an account. I was going
Let's
to
go.
make a
Let's bring
MySpace
it back.
account.
We're bringing making a
We're gonna go
comeback.
back. We're making a MySpace. Making a comeback.
Bet.
And follow all our guys. Twitch is popping off right now. Twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming Live. A ton of fun. I recorded something very cool that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about with N64 Josh.
I
So
heard about
stay
this.
tuned.
I heard.
Yeah.
Very,
Yes.
very interesting. I had a ton of fun the other
Okay.
night with a longtime friend, N64 Josh. And I think that's it. I feel like I had one more thing for you, Seth, but that'll be enough. That's
Okay.
enough. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
end.
Fair enough. Well, please follow Amanda on twitch.tv/miles_of_Amanda. That's also her username on Twitter. Locklith, of course, twitter.com/Locklith, TWT, youtube.com/Locklith. And as for me, you can follow me. That was very Ryan. As for me,
As for me, dude, it's a perfect.
little Turfordism, yeah. As for me, you can follow me on twitter.com/$2hero. And of course, you can add me on your Switch with my friend code SW4112-8061-3454, just like Eric Lindros. That's what you forgot, Sean.
That's what I
You
meant.
just-
SW687902366588. Exactly the same as Eric Lindros. Sorry, Frank.
Exactly
I even
the same.
referenced it earlier. For
Yeah.
people to add me to Doom and everything. And
That's okay. That's okay. And real quick, of course, thank you so much to everybody who supports us on Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Thank you to our ultimate producers, Johnathan Brown.
Hey,
I've
that's
heard of
me.
that guy. Hey, that's you.
hey, Tim, you're right here.
Of course, you can find his music, linktree/pme.jib. And Cwaggy, who reminds you that the best babes our Xenobabes. Links are in the show notes to JB's music and everything else. Thank you guys so much. Our platinum producers, Peje EP, Smokin Joe, The Captain, and Tim Paullin. And our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Cowboy Danger D, Dan and Luma, Dano, Drellish, Emily O'Kelly, Hopple, Jan32, Kia Savoy, Liger Woods 330, Old Mr. Frump, Patrice Millette, Shane Erickson, Tech Mike, The Jiggy Collector, and Tim Alf. Thank you all so much. Patreon.com/carpoolgaming. 7-day free trial to the exclusive tier, where you can get a bunch of exclusive content and support all of our efforts at things like Extra Life coming up very, very soon. Thank you all so much. For Tony, for JB, for Sean, I've been Seth. This has been the Nintendo Drive.
Woo.
And we're out.
Good.
Ryan Turford.
Yo, okay.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Nintendo Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us at Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget to check out our awesome Nintendo Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, where you'll unlock all sorts of exclusive content like the Nintendo Drive post show. Links to everything are in the description. See you next week!
Beak.